Today we have Rafael from DXL. Rafael is a software engineer and co-founder of the successful Launchpad DXL, where projects like SafeMoon and Save the Earth cryptocurrency have successfully launched. He's also the creator of and developer of NFT Brothers. So how is your sir? How's everything going?
Honestly, I'm doing okay. I'm doing great actually. I'm doing great. Not okay. The temperature is going down. Everyone's getting sick. Yeah, the weather's pretty cold actually from like from October. Like the October weather is killing all of us. But luckily, I'm okay. Thank God I'm okay. But I pray for the people around me. A lot of people are sick. I know some of the DX guys are sick as well. Brawlers guys are
Oh,
sick as
really?
well. Yeah, yeah.
That's but like what kind of sickness? Like is it like
Uh,
dangerous? Like is it mild or just like what is going on?
no, I think everyone's just going through with a fever. Um, Everyone's telling me like, hey, we're running. I have a fever or runny nose or whatnot. I don't think it's anything serious, but it's definitely something, and it could be due to the weather.
Actually, that happened to me like 2 weeks ago. I was thinking about it. Me and my girlfriend, we both got sick. She got sick first, and then I got sick. We got tested. No COVID or anything. It's just like seasonal flu. Luckily, I got back like in 2 days or something. It was kind of crazy.
Oh, did you guys go anywhere or?
No, not really. Just hanging out, pretty much. I have a question for you, actually, because you said like thank God, but so do you have like do you believe in like a God? Do you have like a formal, like religion or something?
I guess that's a good question. You know what? Eh, because I'm a science man myself,
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
it's a tricky question because as a science man, you want to believe that there isn't anything out there, but uh, at the same time, what are the chances that we, as animals, because we are animals, right? What are the chances we're the only animals in a random rock, just making it? Like, I don't see any other animals making vehicles or NFTs. It's just humans.
Yeah.
So I don't know, right? It's a tricky question.
Yeah.
So I don't know, right? It's a tricky question. And on one,
No way, dude. This was. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, on one side, you don't want to believe in anything because you are a man of science. There is no proof of anything. But at the same time, what are the chances, right?
Yeah, I was talking to my brother about this, right? Because so we're supposed to be like kind of like we come from monkeys, right? In theory, but when did you see any fucking monkey like close to make an engine, like a or like a computer, right? It's crazy. And all these smartest animals before like us, like dolphins and stuff, they're not close at all to like our intelligence, right? Well, they also don't have like thumbs, which is really important apparently, but I think it's kind of freaky they're not close to, for like all these animals, they don't have multiple languages amongst themselves, right? All of them understand like the same sounds. Meanwhile, like humans have like 500 and something languages and stuff like that, which I don't think is like natural or doesn't seem to. But yeah, I also I don't like to believe like bullshit as well. I like to stick to science. I know people who believe like it's not ghosts, but here in Mexico, there's like people who are supposed to predict your future and shit. And I found outrageous that they get paid a lot. Even there's like people like famous people who pay for them, and they have like their own, which is hilarious and crazy because they basically can ruin your life if they want or your relationships, right? They say like, oh, I'm seeing like the guy you're with is not ideal for you, and you got fucked by some random people. So yeah, I don't like to believe in this.
Speaking of those gurus, I'm pretty sure you're talking about gurus, right? That read your palm or read some sort of tea leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know what? They're actually good at marketing. They tell you what you want to hear, or they can really squeeze money out of you. That's marketing talent right there. Not everyone can do that.
True. Maybe we should hire them to shield the Excel, you know? Like, oh, because they're, yeah, you're right. You're pretty good at it. If you see, like, most, like, it's not marketing companies, but all these companies who are, like, multi-level marketing, they're literally just marketing because their products are so shit. Or I've seen people who don't even buy products. It's just, oh, yeah, literally just give us money and just make people to give you money and you're gonna get more money. And yeah, my parents used to be in one of those, and it's some scary shit, man. Yeah, I've warned them, like, yeah, maybe this is not the best way. And they're like, yeah, but your uncle, he's making money and shit. And I'm like, yeah, but how many people are like below him? They're not making shit, and they really spend like, I don't know, whatever they spend, like $250 just for getting in. By the way. So
Do you wanna tell us the story? Because I think you've mentioned this before.
okay, let's go. Okay, sure. Uh, well, desperate times, desperate measures. I don't think actually my parents were doing really, really good on like money wise, I guess. But they had like one of my. It's not really my uncle, but here in Mexico, everyone is an uncle for some reason. So if they're close to your parents, they're like your uncle or your aunt, right? So one of them was making a lot of money apparently from that, and they were like traveling and shit. And my parents were like, oh, because my parents were always trying to, make small businesses, which they all failed horribly, I must say. But they tried, so they saw it was like an opportunity, and these guys like kind of brainwashed them. And yeah, so I'm gonna mention the company right now because you might have heard of it, and I'm gonna just blur it out in the edition. The name of the company is actually, and they sell like home products and vitamins and all this shit, and they're pretty useless if I'm being honest. But yeah, they were making a lot of money, so they kind of invited my parents, and my parents started dragging us to like their conference, which was literally like some kind of cult, because everyone was like stupidly happy for no reason. And I was like, I would say like 12 years or something, and even for me it was freaky. Or at 15 I was like, yeah, no way, this is real. Why do people believe this shit? And they started like clapping and stuff like that. So yeah, my parents started like hosting some kind of conferences, and in the yeah, no, so here it is, right? So when I grew, I told them, because they eventually snapped out of it, because I don't know, they thought it was too much, like time consuming mostly. And I remember they used to draw like this sketches showing how the company works and stuff. And I told my mom, this looks clearly like a pyramid to me, right? Like the way you're you're like making these drawings of how people are supposed to invite other people. And I told her, like, this literally looks like a pyramid scheme. And the copium, bro, was absolutely insane. It's like, no, it's just the way it looks, but it doesn't work like a pyramid scheme. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it looks like a pyramid. So yeah, absolute copium. Eventually, like,
What were they selling? What's the product? Like, I know it's a pyramid scheme, but what was the base of the product? Was it a service or?
It was kind of like both, right? So they would tell you like, oh, we have like all these great products that are like 3 times better than the ones you find in any supermarket, I would say. And if you buy them directly from us, you don't have to pay for like middlemen, right? Like when you buy a product in a store, they have so many fees on top of them, right? So in theory, they would send them directly to you, and that's how you would make money, right? And then if you like got other people to use like your promo code or whatever, they would start giving you a discount. I think the max discount was 21% or something. So every time you buy, you got 21%. You could sell that as well and like make a profit, like a 21% profit or some shit like that. And besides that, when you move certain amount of product, they would start giving you money or something from the product. I don't know. It was some weird shit. It was wacky.
So is the best way to earn money, if you sell it to someone that you hired, or is it is it better profit if you sell it to someone outside, like an actual customer? Like, what's a better customer, your own employee, or a customer outside?
In theory, both, because the guys who you recruited to the cult, they start to sell as well, and they would give you like kind of a profit, and they would sell to random people because not everyone wanted into the whole business scheme, quote in quotes. Some people just would sell to random people, like I don't know, your grandma or whatever. But it was some wacky shit, bro, because they brainwash you and they tell you like, oh, your family are gonna sell like you're crazy and this makes no sense. But they're lying. They just don't want you to see you succeed and shit. And they would like sell you all these like dreams and stuff.
You are the product. That's pretty much it, right? When they get you into these. That's crazy. And how did you guys manage to get out of that? Was it easy, or?
I don't know. I honestly like I just told they were like, oh yeah, this shit is not working, so they just stopped doing it. But I don't know. I got scared for a minute there. Not gonna lie, because the copium was absolutely like hard, and they would like give you like self-help books, which is another topic I want to talk about later on. And some of them like they had like audios and stuff, and like amongst them they had like people that kind of became celebrities through them in the business. I don't know. It was pretty wacky. But you said you had a story about this, right? Similar.
Well, it's not as crazy or big, but I do have like few different stories. I think when I got exposed to things like this was when I was in the university, and I was taking the subway station, the metro station, from university to home. Um, this one guy approached me and he's like, "Do you need a part-time job?"
Bruh.
And
Oh boy.
yeah, and me being young, I'm like, "Oh, okay. Tell me about it," right? And then he tried to basically, you know, sell me this company called Primerica. You can actually Google it. Primerica is one of the MLMs in North America, and they're pretty notorious for targeting a lot of young people, especially like young people who they know are looking for jobs. So at that time, I was a good target, but I was smart enough to ignore it, right? I heard him out, but I ignored it. I didn't continue with that. They
Thank God, bro.
Yeah, no, they've invited me and I think others to like some conference, and that was kind of shocking to me. Like, okay, like if this is a simple marketing job, why do I gotta go to some conference, right? If it's just an interview. So anyway, fast forward to my engineering days. I was actually messaged by uh, a high school classmate of mine who insisted that I could make money online, right? But I already had a good job. I was working in engineering, but I wanted to hear them out because I did know them from high school. Turns out this person, he's really, really into the MLM scheme and super brainwashed. I've
Right.
Yeah, I've tried to explain what MLM is and the fact that she's brainwashed, but it backfired on me because they believe in this so strongly that it actually hurts them. Like,
Yeah.
it hurts to hear the truth, right? Because they're super indoctrined, that's the word, right? Indoctrined to the uh, methods of these MLM schemes, that they don't know what's going on. They don't know which one's the truth, right? They believe whatever they hear over and over again. So I obviously said, to that. I tried getting her out of it, but the person wasn't that close that I cared. So I'm like, okay, you do you. Another time, what happened was, I think this was just 2 years ago, before DX actually. Um, you know how on Instagram you get like these random messages for stocks and whatnot? There was this one dude on Instagram that, my feed showed. Um, he was flexing Bugattis, and he was flexing coming out of the airplane, like all these like
Fucking classic, bro. Yeah.
yeah, high roller stuff. I'm like, okay, so what do you guys do? Because he also posts about trading groups, right? He posts about trading groups. So I'm like, okay, like what do you guys do? And he responded back on my DMs, and he's like, hey man, we have a trading group. Do you want to join? I'm like, trading group, that's cool, because I was really into stocks back then, which is why this popped up in the first place. So
okay.
yeah, because I was really into stocks. Like I would trade like AMD stocks, Intel stocks, blue chips, index funds. So at that, so at that point, I'm like, you know what? I'm not really part of any stock groups or anything like that where people can help each other. Stock groups, like like groups that.
Sorry, the last thing you said, because it's like audio got
Oh,
screwed by internet or something.
no problem, no problem. So I was saying that I was really interested in stocks, like S&P or index funds or AMD, Intel, blue chips, right? But I never worked with a group. Like I didn't have a dedicated group that would be like, hey, let's buy this together now, or hey, that looks good, let's buy together that now, right? I was always like a solo trader. So which is why this popped up on my Instagram, because I would search stocks all day and night on Google, and I guess my phone picked it up. Right. So anyway, so the guy messaged me. He's like, hey, we run this stock group. Do you want to join? We're actually in the area. So I'm like, okay, that sounds very, very interesting. So I took my laptop next day and I went to meet up. Well, I asked him where do we meet up, and he's like, oh, let's meet up at this college campus, not a university, a college campus library, right? I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, if you guys have a group, like, why is it in the college campus library, right? Or some sort of college campus board meeting room. Anyway, so I ignored that, and I go forward and I actually show up, right? He showed up like 30 minutes later. He was pretty late, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, man, I had to take the transit. And I'm just thinking in my head, wait a minute, you were flashing Bugatti in your Instagram and private planes. Why couldn't you take one of those to the campus? I didn't obviously say it. Yeah, I didn't obviously say it, but yeah, I knew what was going on right away, right? Yeah, so he took me to this room, and it was full of like these very lost individuals. I know it sounds mean, but you know how you can sort of tell like the like the type of people by looking at them. I know I'm judging, but sometimes you can tell that, okay,
It's
there's
fine to judge, bro. Yeah, no,
you can tell, like,
it's like the vibe, right? Like desperation is in the air.
exactly, the vibe was like, okay, like these guys are all there because they're lost of what to do and what not to do, and this is how the meeting started. So the guy who I was speaking with, he started talking about like methods of trading, right? And then he's like, if you want to learn more, it's a $3,000 course. I'm like, what? First of all, I thought it was a group, right? And then he's like, oh wait, but hold on, it could be yours for $50 a month if you bring in more users, or if you bring in more traders in our group, and then we can all trade together, and then this course will be $50 for you. I'm just like, what the heck is happening, right?
Yep.
And then I had a laptop with me because I really wanted to like I wanted to go there to like see what this trading group is, right? I closed the laptop. I close the laptop and I'm like, sorry, I gotta bounce. I get up and he chased me down through the hallway to really convince me.
That's fucking creepy.
I'm good, man. Thanks. Maybe next time. Yeah, so I dodged a bullet there, but it was kind of stupid of me to think that that was a legit trading group. Um, yeah, it is what it is. I was young.
I mean, to be honest, I think everyone fails for like things that are way too good to be true, you know. And I think that's a big problem in crypto. That's why so much people see crypto as stupid because they think it's kind of like multi-level marketing or some shit like that. Uh, yeah, because some people do fall really deep into the promises of developers, and since it's like so the thing I see about crypto that I don't see in other places is that it's so accessible, right? Like everyone can do it, absolutely everyone. And it sounds like easier than stocks, I would say, because for stocks you kind of have to understand like basic concepts. And for crypto, it's like, oh, look, pretty doggy goes waff. Let's just fucking buy it. Oh boy.
No, you're absolutely right. It is easy to make and also easy to get scammed in crypto. It's a double-edged sword, 100%. But because of this, it's giving like the um, mainstream people the idea that crypto is just another Ponzi scheme, even though it's not at this point. It's not anymore. Like there's so many different companies that popped out of crypto,
Yeah.
like legit companies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's just that the scams are too heavy and too easy to do. So the result is mainstream media rejecting it quite a bit. Like right now, today is what, October 2022. Uh, it's the meta is really against crypto right now, right? And even against NFTs.
Yeah, yeah, because they say like, oh, look how bad this shit is performing, right? But they don't see like everything is performing like shit. Have you seen stocks for the last year? It's terrible. Everyone is just cashing out because inflation is like stupidly high, and people need to live, right? So why would you risk, having assets that are not safe, right? So it's like, honestly, what can you say? Why not shit talk stocks, right? Because stocks have a pretty dark history as well, right? It's just crypto goes so fast because it's so new, and what a lot of people seem to fail to understand is like technology is growing exponentially, right? Every single year. That's why from the 90s to like now, like technology has made huge leaps instead of like the previous 200 years when it was super slow. And that includes crypto, because crypto, like I said, is so accessible, everyone can just trade it. And I forgot what was the fucking point, but yeah, so that's why it's performing so terrible. And it's like, oh, it's performing terrible. It's like, yeah, bro, it's fucking stocks is performing terrible as well. The bonds, everything's performing terrible. Even
Everyone's pulling money out now, right? Everyone wants to pull money out because of inflation. Everything just costs more on in the groceries, right? Everything's like 30%, 40% more.
yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, and in some countries they even stopped allowing you to pull money out at all from the bank, or there's like a limit that you can pull out because government just want to control this, right? But it is what it is, and the end game on crypto is that everyone's just cashing out at this moment, right? Which brings me to a new point. You should. I know I'm not a financial expert. This is not a financial advice, but I think this is a good time to buy. I really think so. I think if you DCA right now,
Time to buy?
I think so. If you DCA from now, DCA is for those of you who don't know, it's a dollar cost averaging. So what that means is basically you keep putting a set amount of money in uh, every month, every week, or every day.
Or yeah.
Yeah, periodically, so that even if it dips, I know Ethereum's what, like 13. I have it right in front of me. It's 1358 US dollars. So even if ETH drops to like 900, right? You're still buying it. You don't care that you bought at 1358 because you know one day ETH will go up, especially when the sharding goes online. That's when it will go up, right? So, I'm not guaranteeing that it will go up. I'm not an expert, but that's my speculation, right? From being in the game for a while, that it will go up at least 4,800 because that was what the peak, right? 4,800 USD. Yeah. I'm just taking a look at the chart right now. I think it can even go to 10K, to be honest with you, once sharding is on, because all the big institutions will start buying and the meta will reverse. People will be like, wait a minute, we should have bought ETH in October 2022 instead of talking smack, you know?
Agree, but like Bitcoin bounced for a bit. I think like a month or something, and I was sure that was a bear trap, bro, 100%. But I agree. If you're like, first of all, the first thing I would say when you're investing in crypto is like, think about that money like you gambled it, right? Like, don't think about it like money you have, but money you gambled away. So when you get a return, it's gonna be like, oh, great, it feels good because I thought I lost it, right? Because
exactly, I think that's the best way for beginners, at least, right? Like, I lost type of money, but at the same time, yes, you're right, but you still need to be careful. Like, you don't want to put too much. You should always put how much you are willing to.
Yeah, exactly. So the people who get fucked in gambling and like stocks and everything is people who they think they're gonna make profit and they use the money they use to live, right? Like livelihood. And those guys are the ones who get fucked, and those guys are the ones like complaining about like crypto overall. But it's the same with everything, stocks. By the way, I don't recommend gambling, but if you see it that way, like it's just like it's money I already lost. It's better for your mental overall instead of like looking at the charts because you invested, I don't know, what you needed for like rent that month. Because some people do have that problem, and I think enough people speak about it.
Oh, so you're saying some people gamble away money for rent, like their target is, hey, I want to make the rent money. That's such a crazy way to think about it. I'm just taking that in.
It's terrible, man. I know this guy is a friend of mine. Hopefully he's not hearing this. He's from the US, and he, like how expensive it is to like get your teeth removed. I think it's super expensive for no fucking reason, if I'm being honest. So yeah. So in his mind, he's like, oh, I'm gonna like start doing like not gambling per se, but like going into heavy crypto speculation, like Luna and stuff, to make money to remove my teeth. And I'm like, bro, how is that a good strategy, my guy? How the fuck is that a good strategy? I told him, you can, with what you're gambling, you can just go down to Mexico and get it done, and even have some little vacation, and it would just cost like maybe one teeth instead of the 5 you need to get removed. And he's like, no, bro, I can make this money back. And, of course he lost, and he was not happy about it. It's like, how the fuck do you go to that conclusion, bro?
No, I don't, honestly, man, I don't blame him. I was very similar. I would obviously, like, I wouldn't gamble away for rent or teeth money or anything, but I would just watch all day and just I would just go all in, right? And the thing is, I would go all in at the wrong times, like only when things are going great on crypto, like when the hype train is here. And that's just the wrong way to think, right? Because when the hype train is here, let me think. I'm looking at the chart. I did put a lot of money on 20. I'm looking at the chart. I think 2021. Yeah, 2021. November is when I put a lot of money in, and it's been a downward spiral ever since. Everyone thought the hype's just gonna go up and up, but the smart ones really know which I'm still not one of the smart ones, but smart ones really know that it's a cycle. It'll go down, and when people are selling, that's when you buy and you hold. You don't do any bot trading, because when you do that, you actually lose. At least from my experience, I've been doing a lot of like swings. Swings do work, but when they don't work, you lose so much.
Yep, that's why you don't use your livelihood, for anything similar. It's like you have something to spare. Yeah, go for it.
You know what it is? You know what it is when you think like that with your livelihood. First, let's say you put $100, right? You made amazing returns. You probably made amazing returns like up to like, let's say, $2,000, and then all of a sudden you get like a huge hit, right? So what happens is you get emotional and you double down, right? You put your rent money in, you put your food money in, right? And next thing you know, you're like minus 30K, and you're like, what the heck? What did I do, right? That's what happens. That's a reality.
Absolutely right. Yeah, you could. Yeah, definitely. I totally agree.
And then after that, we end up going to Twitter, we end up going to Reddit. We're like, hey, crypto's a scam.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a cycle. That's a cycle, right? And then we're gonna change our mind the next cycle, once the next hype is back, and I buy high and sell low again.
Yeah.
It's gonna come back.
Yeah, other thing I was thinking, I don't understand like how people recharge, honestly, because I follow influencers on like Twitter, and they're always like doing the chart reading, and they're like, oh, look at this pattern, and then the next day it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be bullish for the next week, and it's like, oh yeah, it did like 50%. It's like, bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. They're pulling it out of their bum, man. I don't know. I don't know where they see bull runs and bear runs of these charts, man. It's crazy. I know there's some experts out there, but again, like, things happen so fast. Like in the order book, sometimes you see like bunch of sell orders coming in, and then they all like either fill or they cancel, and there's a new higher sell orders coming in, and it's all happening in milliseconds. So how are you going to read the chart and really figure out, if it's gonna go up next week or if it's gonna go down next week?
I have no idea, bro. I have no idea. I think they literally just got it out of their ass. So shout outs to BitBoy, by the way.
Yeah, hey, I actually saw him live on the NFT, sorry, not NFT, the Toronto show, and yeah, he's actually spitting some facts right now, and I think I agree with him. Actually, he's saying that
Is it BitBoy?
BitBoy, yeah, BitBoy.
Okay, let's see. Because I honestly, after like these past few weeks, I've been behind him. I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut that out because I couldn't speak. I've been watching him to report on him in our newsletter, news show, and he has done pretty shitty things. Honestly, I don't know if I trust him.
What did he say exactly, or what did he promote?
He has been promoting like several scams, bro. He has like a full list. We talked about it in DX News. Full on list, like 8 to 10 projects, all of them straight up rocked. Absolute fucking disaster, honestly. And yeah, I don't trust influencers anymore, to be honest. Like Kim Kardashian just got fucked for $1.2 million for promoting a shitcoin on Ethereum.
Yeah, they're all in on it somehow, right? They're all in on it.
Yeah.
They take a percentage and dump it like right on listing.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, some of them don't even take the token as payment. They take like stable coins or anything.
Hard cash, right? Some of them take hard cash and just shill it for once, like one tweet, and then out of here.
Yep, exactly. And finally, the SEC has been prosecuting them. Finally, the SEC doing something right instead of being like fucking obsessed with XRP. And yeah, I don't know what is happening. I think they might be starving or something, because they are charging influencers finally. They even have like an ad talking about like yeah, guys, maybe you shouldn't, listen to influencers. And it's pretty funny. It's actually well produced, and one of like the actor.
SEC has an ad going on. That's crazy.
Is the one of the higher ups of the SEC. It's his last name is Gensler. I forgot the first name. He has like a full on ad, and the influencers chilling in the ad because of course it's like a parody. One of them looks exactly like Logan Paul, bro. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah.
I've actually not. I haven't seen it. That's funny.
Yeah, you can check it out on the next the X News episode. We talk about that. It's funny, and yeah, I don't trust influencers anymore at all, bro. I don't, I don't think listening to these people is enough. So, for example, I think if you are feeling like to pump and dump something, 100% go ahead, because when they have good influencers, they have good marketing, and if they don't rock in the first like 3 seconds, you can skyrocket and get some profit. But honestly, for like serious stuff, these guys are fucking scumbags. They don't care at all.
Oh yeah, they're in on it, together. They want to make the money, right? And they know that it's the time now to do all these, like for the scammers, because the gateways are not regulated yet. Gateways would be like the cash in and the cash out parts of crypto, because that's exactly where you can catch these guys, right? Not in the middle. You cannot catch these guys in DeFi because every wallet is anonymous, right?
Yeah.
You can track it. You can track it all the way to a gateway. So as long as there's a gateway to fiat, you can cash them, right? Or anything with an ID. So if those influencers accidentally send those scam money to central exchange, they'll get caught right away, right? But it's not regulated yet, so they're just trying their luck. They're pushing their luck, man.
Fucking greediness. Like, how rich is Kim Kardashian? Does she really need like 250K? I mean, no one like hates money, right? But is it worth it to put like your reputation? It's not like she has a lot of reputation, but is it worth it? I mean, I think if someone told me like, bro, just post this and get like a $250,000, literally just post this on your Instagram stories, yeah, I would probably take it. Not gonna lie, but but I'm not rich as fuck, so I don't know. I think it's
not worth the risk. I don't know what they're thinking. Maybe for Soldier Boy, that's different because he's out of the music market now, so he needs to make money, right? But if you're Kim Kardashian, like you don't need to do it.
No, she has too much money, honestly. Yeah, no, you're right. But for example, yes, my boy Soulja Boy probably starving because he spent everything in Bugattis and shit. Have you ever seen like MTV, that MTV show, like Welcome to My Crib?
Yeah.
It's really old.
A long time ago.
Did you see like all these guys who are super famous at that time, and then you Google them now and they broke as fuck?
Yeah, I wonder what happened. I think they've just been like buying like gold and jewelry and stuff. But now that I think of it, gold and jewelry do appreciate. So that would have been a smart investment. I wonder what they spent on.
Just stupid shit, bro. Like cars and like things that are not gonna go up in value, right? For example, if you want to invest in something, never buy a car. A car is a terrible investment because as soon as you get it out of the agency, yeah, you're fucked. You already lost like 30%.
Or like 30% on. But hey, I will actually challenge you, because for the first time ever, cars are appreciating better than Ethereum.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I saw that actually.
Yeah, so I bought my car. It was too much for a young person like me, but I bought it and I thought it would be down by like 30-40% by now because I drove it for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's the exact same price.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly why, but all the cars went like super up. I think there's a shortage or like chips or some shit. I'm not sure honestly.
Now that brings me to cool thought. Should I accept ETH for my car? Is that a good idea?
I don't like to think anything that is not a stable coin. Yeah, I don't like to think anything that is stable coin is worth for like solid objects, but sometimes it can be, right? So for example, someone sold a CryptoPunk right now for like 400 no 4,800 ETH or something, and now it's really low, right? And if it goes up, he's gonna bank the fuck out of it, right? So I don't know, honestly, it's a good question. I personally wouldn't. I would rather have stable coins, but I'm a pussy, so
Stable coins, or would you rather have fiat?
nah, honestly, stable coins, because fiat here is not that good. So stable coins is like USD. It's USDC, for example, is good because your money doesn't get as fucked when you change it to fiat, for example, because our currency is lower than the dollar, right? So it's better, in my opinion, to have it on. And honestly, I hate banks. I despise banks. Bro, they're so useless, man. I swear.
But here's the thing. There's two things that you could do if you sell on ETH or sell on crypto, right? As opposed to fiat. First of all, if you sell on if you sell on fiat, you immediately get you know money in fiat, and it shows up on the system everywhere, at least in North America, right? And you can actually get loans. Like, you can actually show that you have a huge amount of money, uh, and get loans, right? Whereas if you sell it in crypto, now it's a little bit on the gray area, because uh, you should follow the law and pay taxes as they're due. But let's say you didn't. Yeah, but duh, of course, yeah. For those who are listening, of course. But let's say hypothetically, you did not you did not pay the full tax or tax at all, right? So thing is, you get a huge amount of money for the car, but now that you didn't show that income, right, onto the fiat system, you can't get any loans, or well, you can, but you can't get higher loans, which you could have got if you shown that amount in your bank, even after paying the tax, right? So what's better, getting the loan for a house, or hypothetic I can't see that word today. Hypothetically. Yes, hypothetically, pay or not pay in taxes and crypto, right? So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so what would you do? Like, would you? I guess it depends, right? Because if you already have a house, like, fuck it, I don't want to pay. I don't want to get taxed. Maybe, I don't know, but I don't know. I think it depends on like your situation, I would say. I don't know. Okay. No, I understand. No, for me, like, I know, like, even though I love crypto is amazing. For me personally, I actually would sell it only on fiat, until it's easy to pay, until it's easy to like convert and show where the money came from. Yeah. Because a few things. I'm just interested in buying real estate. If I could, like, I'll just buy many. I can't now, but in the future, when I do make money, hopefully, let's see. Hopefully, we all make money, but I want to start buying houses. Right? That's a goal. Yeah. So to do that, because we cannot buy money with crypto now, or at least I haven't seen any way, in North America. So I would still sell my car for fiat because of that reason, right? Because that will allow me to show the income and get loans for whatever, whether it be a business, or a mortgage, or even like loan for another car, right? I agree. I totally think. I think you are quite base, sir. Honestly, yeah. I thought
that way because I don't drive or haven't honestly thought about buying homes yet. To be honest, maybe.
I haven't either. I don't like. I'll be honest with you. I don't. I'm pretty poor guy. But when I am not poor, I definitely will get into real estate. I think that's where it's at. That's the most
Yeah,
stable.
I also think that.
You know, it's more stable than I think any other assets in stocks or crypto, even better than gold in some cases, because it makes you money
Yeah,
faster.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. It only goes up in value. Like unless you like, I don't know, like it gets flooded, which is fucking unlucky. It usually goes up in value. For example, you buy like a home out of the city on the suburbs, and when the city expands, it's gonna get more value. When they add anything close, it's gonna get more value. It's so, and then you can just live off rents, honestly, which I think is the easiest way to live. So yeah, I agree. I have a question for you actually. I know it's sort of topic, but I was thinking about it, right? So there's like a big debate right now, right? There's like I follow a lot of like political comment, and it's not gonna get too political because no, but I've seen these guys on the red pill side, like they say like, oh, college is for dumb fucks. You don't need college. College, it's just unnecessary expense of money. You can just find another way. Look at me, I'm 19 and I'm making bank because I found a job with like this famous YouTuber or something. And I was thinking, like, in my case, I couldn't finish college, but I want to go back because here it's free. The best colleges are free, right? Or you can go for the private ones, which are quite expensive, and you also get fucked in loans. But
Universities are free or what?
yeah, so
What
okay,
the
so
heck?
the top like 10
Sign me up.
universities are free. Well, you have to pay like a small fee, but it's so stupid. It's like $75 6 months a semester, I think, or so. Yeah, or something like that. It's really stupid, and you have to pay for the exam to enter. It's just $40 or something. It's really cheap, honestly. And some careers are like you can practice internationally, mostly software and shit like that. Or you can go for the private route, which is what I was going before COVID hit and I got fucked. So I want to go back to college, but I do see I'm making more money than most of my friends who got out of college. But it's just my particular case. I don't think everyone can. I think I just got lucky, right? So I think like it's 70% luck and like 30% hard work. That's what I think. So what I'm wondering is, what do you think? Is college necessary, for example, to develop in crypto? Because I've met so many devs that are really talented and they didn't go to college, but at the same time, I think like college can bring you like, you can meet like interesting people. So I want to know what's your take on that.
Right. No, it's a good question. It's again, this is a very tricky question and sensitive question. I went to
It is pretty sensitive,
actually. Yeah, because I went to university, right? And what did that get me? That got me an engineering degree, right? Did I use that exact knowledge into making DXO? Yes and no. Yes, I knew a little bit about coding, even though I was not studying computer engineering. I was.
What were you studying? Just to clarify.
I was doing power, man. Like I was basically I was electric man.
Okay, yeah, like electrical engineering.
Yeah, I shot electric out of my arms. No, I was electrical engineer, but especially power electronics. Okay. But I didn't do any of that. I ended up at a GPU company first. I made graphics cards. Wow. Yeah, I got a lot of free. I got free GPUs. No, I didn't. I brought them home for tests. Broken, bro. I brought them home for tests. That's what I did. I didn't get them for free, and yeah, somehow they're still being tested, even though I don't work there. But anyway, I digress. So
Just don't tell anyone. I'm gonna record
so
this out.
so basically, yeah. So I never really used my power electronics knowledge in work, but when it came to crypto and DX, didn't need to. I didn't need to like, apply any knowledge from engineering school, but it did help. Like I picked up on coding quite quick, and some of the other guys, the other founders, we were really actually able to do this ourselves because we had a little bit of background in coding and the way to analyze and think, right? Think about Uniswap. Like Uniswap came from, I might be wrong, double check, do some fact checking, but I believe they came from some research as well. Like it's not just some guy who made it out of college, right? Um, so if you want to make very, very complex things, university does help or college does help. But on the flip side, you don't need it. There's so many people that are into crypto now that have no degrees or no diplomas, and you don't need them, right? You actually don't need them right now. Everything's there. If you want to make code, if you want to make a website, you don't need to be a web dev. You can actually go into I think Wix.com or those website builders, right? It's easy. It's drag and drop nowadays. They even have Web3 sections now. I was looking at one of these websites. They have Web3 sections. You need Photoshop. You don't have to go to a graphics design school. There's Canva now, right? Parts of Canva is free. If you want to make videos and if you want free videos for whatever, right? You can download them for free now. There's royalty free videos, or if you have the money, you can get specific videos done, right? And if you need very specific things, just get someone from Fiverr. You can get someone from third world countries in Asia or Africa, and they're or even Mexico. But Mexico's not the cheaper ones. But if you want to go really, really cheap, you can go to Asia or Africa, and believe me, you will get very cheap labor, and they're talented, right? You don't need college anymore. You don't need universities anymore. You're absolutely right. You can make money right now from almost thin air. You just have to be smart about it, right?
I do think so, but I think not everyone can do it, right? I don't think it's because I think you need some luck after all, right? So I was lucky. My parents had a computer at the end of the day, and I got into like YouTube and things like that, and like tech and stuff since I was young. So, and also I speak English, which is a huge advantage some people do not have. So I think it's a lot of luck on my side, to be honest, and I don't think everyone can do it. And I think, like you said, like if you want something really complex, or even the safe route, sometimes for some people, it's college, right? But it's just, I think it's case specific, and I don't want to generalize like, oh, everyone is gonna make it, because I would love everyone made it, right? But it's not the world we live in, unfortunately. So yeah, I think it's a good take. You didn't college, and I also think crypto is so new that no one cares really about college. Yeah, it's like when people start to like discover mining or like cars or like stuff like that. Some people just didn't have anything to do related, but they learn from someone. Or like most like manual stuff like woodwork, because maybe this is a hot take, but I feel like development and all this type of stuff is like the new build construction jobs, but for the internet. I feel it's that way. And
So I think they're gonna be more and more common now.
yeah, for sure. But I don't know. Honestly, I've met so many people that hate everything related to coding, and I have coding knowledge, and I didn't love it as much as other people, right? Because it's you need to be really thorough sometimes to make good shit, right? Because you can make like mediocre shit. But I've met so many people that are so mid or mediocre at their jobs, and they make so much money above average other degrees, or like other stuff, and it's kind of mind-boggling how much. I don't want to say it's overpriced industry, but I think it is.
I think just to go back to your original point, you don't like. I think the best way to get money or get jobs um, is knowing how to sell yourself, whatever it is. If you wanna be a coder, there's Google. But even if you learn in Google, right, you gotta compete against other people who are learning on Google or guys with diplomas and degrees. So you gotta sell yourself to the whoever's hiring you. So I think that's the number one most important skill to have in this day and age, because you're just competing with everyone.
Yeah, and having
Right.
something to show as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you have like a good portfolio, even if you're working for someone else for free, or if you've been working on your own project, if you can show that, forget degrees, right? You have the skill that the employers need. Hey, better yet, if you can understand what the company is doing and make part of it or make a process that can help it, whether it be coding, whether it be marketing or business, right? And kind of solve it during this whole interview stage, they will hire you and give you a team. That's how strong selling and marketing yourself is, right? You don't need
Yeah,
a
one hundred
degree.
percent.
You don't need a degree. So you're right about
One
that.
hundred
A degree
percent.
does help, but even with degree, I've seen so many people that struggle to sell themselves, including myself. Like, if you send me out in the street, I wouldn't know how to sell myself, or at least I didn't back in the day. Now probably a little bit better, but I'm still not one of those experts that you see on the internet, right? Um, but yeah, it's definitely a skill to have.
So before we wrap up, let's go to the hot take of the day.
I don't know if the audience will get pissed off, but
That's part of the hot take experience.
yeah, NFTs are garbage at this point. Yeah, it's pretty useless. Yeah, don't buy NFTs yet. Wait for the next bull run. The tech is just not there. No, honestly, like everything that I see, all these monkeys that I see on Rarible or OpenSea, hell no. Come on, man, you're buying pictures of monkeys. They don't give you any utility. They give you nothing, man. And that's my hot take. Is that how a hot take works?
Yeah, that was absolutely a huge hot take. Yep,
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
But here's what I will tell you guys. The industry is changing. There are players as in companies that are developing the next generation of NFTs, and that's when you really want to be in the NFT game. If you buy the NFTs now that are just basic collections, you're pretty much just throwing money into like you're just giving
JPEGs.
yeah, you're just giving
Yeah.
those guys money. That's it. That's what's happening. And Yeah, just wait for the next generation of techs that are coming out, which will have a lot of added utility. And the last thing I want to say before I wrap up my NFT rant is, whenever you see a NFT getting sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, be really careful, because don't believe everything you see. Those are actually money laundering schemes. They sell it to themselves to show that they had a successful sale. God knows where the money's coming from, right? So be careful. Don't believe everything. I don't want to point at any specific, monkey NFTs or dog NFTs, cat NFTs, but this is a reality. There's no reason for these NFTs to be selling 100K, especially when they don't add any utility. There's zero utility involved, and they're just JPEGs, like Chong said, right? Like you said. Yeah,
I
that's.
think that's called wash trading, right? Like just selling to yourself.
Is
To
that what
launder
it
money.
is?
I think. I
Is
think
that
it's
the name
called
for
wash
it?
trading.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice. I learned.
I'll Google it later, but I think that's the name.
Okay, nice. I learned
Uh,
two things today. Hot take
which
and
one was the first one?
well, first one was hot take, and second one Wash trading. I've never heard of those two words before. I know you've been telling me prepare a hot take, but I had zero idea what a hot take.
Why you didn't ask me? Well, we'll talk about this later. Well, I think let's wrap it up. Do you have anything to say, like, as a conclusion?
Yeah, just drink lots of water. That's it.